Esther, what do you remember? Let's remind ourselves on what we covered last time. Last time we talked about vegetable crops.
Vegetables.
Yes, very good. Can you give any examples of vegetables?
Carrots.
Eggplant.
Yes.
Sukuma wiki.
Yeah.
Spinach.
That is very good. So last time we were able to categorize vegetables basing on the plant parts we eat. We were able to talk about bulbs, where we talked about the onions. Okay. We talked about fruits, such as the tomatoes. And then we talked about spinach, cabbages. Those ones were grouped under the vegetables whose leaves we eat. So now, after knowing the different types of vegetables available in the society or in the community, you may decide to plant some, maybe at your backyard or in your compound at home. You could be wanting to plant some of these vegetables on your veranda. We are going to look at different ways how we are able to raise seedlings. Have you ever seen seeds of tomatoes? Hello? Hello. Have you ever seen seeds of tomatoes?
Yes.
Laura, have you ever seen seeds of tomatoes?
Yes.
Yes.
Are they the same size with the seeds of beans?
No.
No.
Yes, they are not the same. That means that when we are planting these seedlings, these seeds, you first plant them into a nursery bed, and before you transfer to the main garden. Let's see what we have today. Turinda, you're welcome. So today we're going to talk about how to establish a nursery bed. First of all, you have to first know the definition of a nursery bed. Esther, you read for us the first paragraph, the first opening paragraph.
Where?
The first opening paragraph.
I can't see it.
Vegetables are planted differently. Some are planted first in the nursery bed, and others are sown directly in garden. Okay. So here the first statement says, if some of these vegetables we planted. All of you are not seeing my screen. Hello? Are you able to see my screen?
See it. I can see your screen, but I can't see the paragraph.
Are you able to see where the pointer is?
No.
Are you able to see the picture somewhere this side, on your left?
No.
On the right?
Maybe you reshare your screen.
Okay. Let me reshare. Is it okay now?
Yes.
You're able to see everything?
Yes, teacher.
So vegetables are planted differently. Some are planted first in the nursery bed and others are planted direct in the garden. So now, have you ever seen such structures before? On your right, these pictures here. Hello. Aturinde, have you ever seen such structures before? Hello, Esther, are you there?
Yes.
Have you ever seen such pictures before? Such structures before?
No.
So this is a nursery bed. A nursery bed is a place or an establishment for raising or handling young vegetable seedlings until they are ready for permanent planting or transplanting. So you first grow your seeds. For example, the onion seeds, tomatoes, cabbages, you first plant them inside a nursery bed before you transplant them into the main garden. Okay? Hello, members, are you following?
Yes.
Yes, Isaac, read for us the last paragraph here.
Vegetable nursery bed making, like any other activity, involves money coming in and money getting out of one's hands. Therefore, it is important to know the costs incurred in making a nursery bed. Things budgeted for include tool, labor, and construction material.
Okay, thank you. So before you start establishing a nursery bed, make sure that you have the necessary tools, the labor should be there, and then the construction materials such as the nails, the grass, the timber. Okay, you should put that at the back of your mind before you start thinking about constructing a nursery bed. Is this page clear to everyone? Okay, so here we have reasons why vegetables are grown first inside a nursery bed. Why should we first grow them inside a nursery bed? Laura, you could lead for us.
The reasons for growing vegetables in a nursery bed are to look with care after these young seedlings, provide favorable growth conditions, that is germination as well as growth, control weeds, pests and diseases, have uniform vegetable crop, have a good start for higher yields, have a shorter growing season, accurately predict their harvest date.
All right, thank you. So members, when the reason why we plant our seeds or seedlings first into a nursery bed, number one, such that you can easily take care of these young seedlings. You are able to make them grow properly, provide only necessary conditions like water, the shade. Okay. So the other point says to provide favorable conditions for germination. If you provide all the necessary conditions, the germination. Excuse me. Excuse me. You turn off your mic. Why we plant our seedlings or vegetables first in nursery bed is to provide them with growth conditions for germination. Okay, you are able to provide water in the most quickest time. You control the amount of temperatures in the soil. And then the other reason is to control weeds, pests, and diseases. You are able to do the weeding. Once you remove the weeds, you reduce competition amongst the seedlings. Once you control pests and diseases, you are able to get high yields. Because if you don't control these pests while the crops are still in the tender stage, you will end up having destruction and a loss. Diseases are very expensive to control. So when you eliminate them at the early stage, it is beneficial. And then another reason, to have uniform vegetable crop. You'll be knowing that on the 19th of August, I was able to raise seedlings in a nursery bed, and I transplanted them after a period of 4 weeks. By the time you take the seedlings to the main garden, they will all mature and grow on the same level. You harvest even at the same time compared to when you take to the main garden before raising them in the seed bed. The difference will be that some of the seeds will fall on fertile soils, and then other seeds may not fall in fertile soils. So you'll end up having difference in harvesting. You cannot harvest at the same time. Some crops will grow faster than the others, and then others can easily die off. And some seeds may be eaten by the pests. Okay, so the other point says to have a good start for high yields, as long as you provide necessary conditions at the start of the planting season or period, at the end of the season, you'll be able to harvest big. And then it also helps to reduce the growing season. If, for example, you plant carrots may take something like 3 months for harvesting. If it takes 1 month while inside a nursery bed, it means that by the time you transplant to the main garden, it will spend only 2 months, and you are able to harvest, and you are able to take the crops to the market. The other point says you can easily and accurately predict the harvest date. If you plant today 19th, you are able to recall, to calculate when you will be able to harvest. Is this clear to everyone? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, so this picture here is showing us nursery beds. This is a box nursery bed where they have grown vegetables. But the most important thing before you think about planting these seedlings in your seed bed, okay, we have to look at the soil. Esther, read for us. What is contained in soil media? Esther, read for us. Read for us.
Soil mixture, soil media. Before you sow or plant vegetable seeds, you must prepare a good soil mix or soil media for a nursery seed bed. A good soil mix must contain plant food that will help vegetable seedlings to grow well. A combination all loose or well-drained soils. Organic matter and sand should be used. Wearing protective gear. Sterilize the soil by drying or heating with fire for 12 hours to kill pests and pathogens. Mix the soil, coarse sand, and manure in ratios of 2:1:1. This will require the use of garden tools. Before sowing the seeds in a prepared seed bed, you must first make small furrows in the soil mix of the nursery bed. When sowing seeds in a bed, they are put in rows in order to grow well. After covering the seeds with a thin layer of soil, the seed bed is covered with dry grass. Later on, after germination, seeds construct a shed. Seeds that germinate in the nursery in figure 4.6 must be looked after properly until they are ready for transplanting to where they will grow. Some of the important tasks that you must do to care for the seedlings include watering, pricking out, weeding, controlling pests and diseases, and hardening off.
All right, thank you. So once you have bought your planting materials, here we are talking about the seeds. You have got the tools. You have to think about the soil. Which type of soil is needed to establish a nursery bed? Okay. Prepare a good soil mixture or media for a nursery seed bed. A good soil mixture must contain plant food that will help vegetable seedlings to grow well. A combination of loose and well-drained soils, organic matter, and sand must be used. Organic matter, this is humus. This is got from decayed plants, decayed animals. These ones are rich in plant nutrients. Drained soil simply means this soil should not have too much water or less water. Too much water could easily lead to logging, and this may lead to death of crops. Unlimited water also is dangerous because nutrients in the soil may not dissolve for easy absorption by these crops. So you have to make sure that the soil is well drained. The balance between water should be minimal and at its maximum. So the other thing is you have to wear protective gear, gloves, because you may injure yourself. And then the other point says, sterilize the soil by drying or heating with fire for 12 hours. You have to get that soil, like this one here, you're already seeing inside here in the box. Heat it under the sun for 12 hours or put it in the saucepan. You boil it in the saucepan, but don't put water, just fry it. That is sterilizing. That means you have killed some pests and even the pathogens. The pathogens are disease-causing organisms. They will die. After doing all that, mix the topsoil, the coarse sand, and manure in ratios of 2:1:1. 2 is for the sand soil, it should be 2, and then 1 is for manure, and then the other is for the topsoil, such that it is balancing. If you do the opposite, you say you are going to put too much of manure with less soil, and then, or you could say the other opposite. The plants may not function properly. The plants will not be able to absorb nutrients from the soil. So you have to put caution on the ratios. And this will require the use of garden tools. Which type of garden tools do you think can be used on establishing a nursery bed? Hello, members. Isaac, which type of garden tool do you think can be used?
I beg your pardon?
Which type of garden tools do you think can be used to establish a nursery bed?
I think you would need a trowel to transplant the.
Hello.
Teacher, I think you should need a trowel for
Okay. Isaac, before we go to transplanting, we are first looking at a seed bed, a nursery bed, the tools used in the nursery bed before you take the main garden. A trowel can be used to transplant from the seed bed or the nursery bed to the main garden. So what are some of the tools which can be used while establishing a nursery bed?
So I think you could use like a wooden box.
Hello, your network is breaking. Maybe you could do.
Sort that you could put. Hello?
Your network is breaking. Maybe you repeat what you are saying.
Maybe you could use like a wooden box of salt that you could put in the mixture of the soil and.
Okay. So basically, some of the tools we may need here, we need a hoe. We need a hoe to get that soil inside the box. We need a spade. Okay. Somebody is saying here, we need a hoe, a trowel. Very good. That is good. So now, after having all those tools, what happens next? What happens next? Before sowing seeds, sowing simply means planting them into the soil or putting them into the soil in a prepared seed bed. You must first make small furrows in the soil. You have to create depressions, small holes where the seeds will enter. Okay, after that, when sowing seeds in a seed bed, they are put in furrows, in rows. They are put in rows in order to grow well. After covering the seeds with a thin layer of soil, the bed is covered with dry grass. Okay. After you putting your seeds inside here and you cover with a small layer of soil, you have to get grass and you cover. Why do you cover with the grass? Such that you maintain soil water. You maintain the amount of water in the soil without being alternated due to evaporation. In case of high temperatures. So after that, after you covering with dry grass, what happens later? Later on, after germination, seeds construct a shade. Okay, you have to construct a shade. Seeds that germinate in the nursery in figures of 4 to 6 must be looked after properly until they are ready for transplanting. Meaning when the seeds germinate, when they emerge off the ground, okay, you have to make sure that you take care of them, protect them. Protect them until when you are able to transplant the main garden. Okay. And then you may be there asking, now what is the importance of building a shed? A shed is to maintain cool temperatures inside the soil and even to prevent direct sunlight or sunshine which could damage the seedlings. Okay. Some of the important tasks tasks that you must do to care for the seedlings include watering. You have to provide water on a daily basis because water is life. Minus water, all your seedlings will dry up. Some may fail to emerge out of the soil. You have to practice pricking out. What is pricking out? This is the removal of excess seedlings from a nursery bed and transferred or replanted to another nursery bed. Okay, why do we do that? To reduce overcrowding and too much competition for the resources. After that, you have to do weeding. Weeding is important because you eliminate alternate hosts for pests and diseases. Controlling diseases and pests is very important also because these pests will end up eating all our seedlings while they're in the garden. So what we do is to make sure that we remove them and we control also these diseases because they could cause our seedlings to dry up. After that, there's this last important activity you're supposed to do, hardening off. Hardening off simply means exposing our seedlings to natural environment. You remove the grass which you had put. You remove the shade. Once you remove that, the seedlings will be able to survive on natural environment. Is this page clear to everyone? Esther, Isaac, Laura, is this page clear to all of you?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, if it is okay, let's see what we have on the next page. So here is the real activity of establishing a nursery bed. When you are doing this, make sure that you have the following. You should have soil, garden tools, a notebook, a pen and protective gear. The gloves, okay? Protective gear simply mean the gloves, the gumboots, okay? So Isaac, read for us. After selecting one vegetable of your choice, establish a fixed or a portable nursery following the given practices. Practice number 1. Isaac, read for us.
Selecting a site for a nursery bed. Hello?
Yes, please. You will continue up to number 8.
Preparing a good soil for the nursery bed. Sterilizing soil for nursery seed bed. Budgeting materials for making nursery bed. Resource required in constructing a nursery bed. Constructing a nursery bed. Sowing seeds in the nursery bed.
Very good. So in case you may want to establish a nursery bed in your home, in your compound, okay, you could have a bucket there which is lousy. You could be having a jerry can in your compound which has no work. It cannot fetch for you water. You have to use these steps to establish a very good one to produce